Call the April 19, 2021 meeting of the Cumberland County Board of Commissioners to order and welcome everyone. At this time, I would like to acknowledge Commissioner Glenn Adams for the invocation.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And for the invocation, I have Elder Madeline Gilmore, who is here. She's an associate pastor at Smith Chapel Freeway Baptist Church, associate minister at Smith Chapel Freeway Baptist Church. She's retired from the Cumberland County School Systems Commissioner Council, and she was a classroom teacher for over 40 years. She's married to Lonnie Gilmore, and if any of you all bought any Mercedes, y'all know Mr. Gilmore because he was at the Mercedes place. He'll sell you one any day. He's retired, and they are in retirement age. They have 3 children, 2 who were teachers themselves, and 1 who is a high school principal in Kentucky at one of the DOD schools. I'm going to show you how close and how intertwined the world is. I also, Mr. Chairman, because we would then do the Pledge of Allegiance, have Mr. Matthew Stewart, if he just wave his hand at the back, he's going to come do the Pledge of Allegiance for us. He's 6 years old. He goes to Freedom Christian Academy. He likes math, reading, taekwondo, running and building Legos. His father is CW4 Marlon Stewart, who has been in the United States Army for 24 years and flies those Chinook helicopters. Thank him for his service. And his wife works for our district attorney in the district attorney's office, and that's Miss Carrie Ann Stewart, and she's been there twice, on and off, as he's been transferred out. Well, I told you I would make you, in terms of the connection, he is headed to Kentucky as he's going to be transitioned, and Elder Gilmore's son is the principal at the installation that he will be going to in Kentucky. So that's how small the world it is. We would ask Elder Madeline Gilmore to come up and give us the invocation. We'll all stand, and then I'll ask Mr. Matthew Stewart to come give us the pledge.
Let us pray. Eternal God, our Father, we thank you for your grace and mercy. We invite you into this room as a welcomed guest. Illumine the minds of our Board of Commissioners. Supply them with wisdom and understanding as they conduct the business of this county. Inspire them to commit their thoughts and decisions to you. Let your kingdom come and your will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Amen.
Amen. Dwayne, can you move? Oh, no, he's got it right there.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Mrs. Stewart. Thank you, Elder Gilmore.
At this time, first of all, thank you for the invitation.
Thank you for the
I like that remix. Thank you for the invocation. The young man got out of here so quick, I forgot to thank him for leading us in pledge. At this time, I would like to acknowledge Commissioner Tony Stewart, who's with us via phone. Commissioner Stewart. Hello, Commissioner Stewart. Okay, we'll check
Hello,
that
I'm
with
here.
her. There she is.
Hello.
Welcome. Thank you for being with us, Commissioner.
You're welcome, thank you.
And we would like to welcome, I think, Councilwoman Yvonne Kinston is here. How you doing? Thank you for being here. She come to our meeting and get a standing ovation almost.
We expect the same.
At this time, I would like to recognize some individuals for their service. We have Melody Dickerson. If you would come forward, please. Melody Dickerson was recognized for her contributions to the Hope Mills Community Emergency Response Team, or CERT, and the group's successful efforts in 2019 to expand the volunteer program into the city of Fayetteville and Cumberland County. The expanded and transformed group became the Cape Fear CERT. Melody established the Cape Fear CERT teen program in 2020. In February, 9 teens graduated from the first class. She has logged 787 hours of volunteer time, with the majority spent participating in meal distribution programs that delivered enough food to feed 75,000 people. This is presented, a certificate of recognition presented to Melody Dickerson, Cape Fear CERT, recipient of the Governor's Volunteer Service Award, presented this 19th day of April 2021 by Cumberland County Board of Commissioners in appreciation for your volunteer efforts in our community. Thank you so much for all that you do for Cumberland County. Thank you. Thank you so much. Miss Amelia Smith. How are you? I'm good. And before we get started here, Commissioner Tony Stewart says she is so proud of you. She's been a part of your organization, the Glen Lighting, for a long time, she said. Okay. Amelia Smith had a guardian ad litem since 2015. COVID-19 brought unexpected challenges that kept many children hidden from their communities. Amelia was the voice for 29 children in the Cumberland County Juvenile Court. A typical guardian ad litem case load average about 8 children from 2 to 3 families. But Amelia has used her time as a retired military veteran to serve 3 to 4 times the average number of children. Amelia contacts each child and tracks their educational progress, therapy, participation, and general well-being. She works hard to be the biggest support for these children, encouraging them and doing everything in her power to give them the best opportunity at future success in education, relationships, and life. But you know what? They're only good as the person you have the right for. Certificate of recognition presented to Amelia Smith, North Carolina Guardian Ad Litem Program, recipient of the Governor's Volunteer Service Award, presented this 19th day of April 2021 by Cumberland County Board of Commissioners in appreciation for your volunteer efforts in our community. Thank you so much. Thank you. Appreciate it. And please go tell Commissioner Stewart. This is a lot of work.
It is. I was getting ready to make the ultimate faux pas and shake your hand.
I would have hugged you. Thank you.
Have a good evening.
You do the same. Ms. Metter Montoya. I hope I said that right. Welcome. Ms. Montoya started the Vision Resource Center on Wheels program during the COVID-19 pandemic to ensure visually impaired residents who live alone do not go hungry. Metter partnered with Abney Chapel Seventh-day Adventist Church to provide more than 40 food boxes and COVID-19 supplies every month for these residents. Metter also started assistance with low-income housing for members who need a home of their own. She helped complete applications, followed up with apartment managers, and drove members to locations when required. Nearly 80 years young. Is this you? Get out of here. That's good. I mean, God bless you. Nearly 80 years young, Metter works tirelessly to help the Vision Resource Center serve its clients. Thank you so, so much. I'm just going to keep it off. Certificate of recognition presented to Metter Ann Montoya, Vision Resource Center, recipient of the Governor's Volunteer Service Award, presented this 19th day of April 2021 by Cumberland County Board of Commissioners in appreciation for your volunteer efforts in our community. Thank you so much for what you do. Patty Nussbaum. Did I pronounce that wrong? Tell me how close was I? Say it again? Nussbaum. Okay, I'm sorry. Patty Nussbaum has worked full throttle with the Vision Resource Center to bring food and supplies to blind and visually impaired residents. Patty collected boxes and paper bags for delivery and assisted Metter and Montoya with organizing food pantry items to ensure VRC members received the package. Patty drove more than 300 miles in her personal vehicle delivering food without asking for reimbursement. When the Vision Resource Center held its first ever virtual fundraiser, Patty went above and beyond and helped raise over $28,000. During the pandemic, rallying family and friends to help. We are so thankful for all these volunteers and the outstanding work that you are doing in our county. Certificate of recognition presented to Patricia Newsbaum, Vision Resource Center, recipient of the Governor's Volunteer Service Award, presented this 19th day of April 2021 by Cumberland County Board of Commissioners in appreciation for your volunteer efforts in our community. Thank you so much for all that you do. Huh? Hey, take care. Always good to get. Yes. All right. Madam Manager?
Yes, sir. The next item on our agenda is the public comment period. Mr. Chairman, there are no speakers this evening.
Thank you very much. Move on to approval of the agenda.
Yes, sir. We would respectfully ask for the board to approve two changes to the agenda this evening. First, we would like to add an economic development closed session under General Statute 143, 318, 11A4. In addition, Mr. Chairman, we would like to ask the board to remove an item of business, item 5A. That item 5A related to capital planning priorities. Since our agenda session last week, staff has been presented with some additional information, and we would like to delay this item. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
You're quite welcome, Madam Manager. Madam Manager.
Mr. Chairman, I move we approve the agenda with the deletion of 5A and the addition of the economic development closed session.
Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Commissioner Council. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Commissioner Evans, your vote, please.
Yes.
Commissioner Adams. Yes. Commissioner Booth.
Yes.
Commissioner Council.
Yes.
Commissioner Stewart.
Yes.
Thank you very much. That is unanimous.
Item number 2, Mr. Chairman, are our presentations. This evening we have two. First, item 2A is an update from Ms. Sharon Moyer, Partnership for Children of Cumberland County regarding the Family Connects Home Visiting Program. Welcome, Ms. Moyer.
Hello.
Hello, everybody. How are you?
Okay. Hope
Good
Good
evening.
to see you.
Yeah.
So thank you, Chairman and Commissioners, for allowing me to have some of your time this evening. I am Sharon Moyer. I'm the Community Engagement Administrator at the Partnership for Children of Cumberland County. Also with me this evening is Liz Simpler, one of my teammates, and our President, Mary Sonnenberg. They're here to answer any questions that I might not know the answers if you have. You may recognize Liz, though. She was just here earlier this month as part of our SOAR committee. And our SOAR committee that we're part of also initiated the state's first, I'm going to say that again, the state's first community child abuse prevention plan. So, as you may know, the Partnership for Children is a public-private nonprofit formed in 1993 out of then Governor Jim Hunt's Smart Start initiative. This initiative's core vision is to ensure that every child have the support they need to enter kindergarten healthy and ready to succeed. In 1993, Cumberland County was selected to be one of the pilot programs, and to this day, our organization continues to be a pioneer in early education and family support. Since 1993, our organization has been serving families with young children in a variety of ways through a variety of funding streams. I know that you share our vision. We want Cumberland County to be an economically prosperous community where families are successful and children thrive. To play our part in this vision, we focus on support for families with children birth to 5. Our board set priorities are able to provide services and support that advances the well-being of children, strengthens the early care and education system in our community, and empowers families. While we provide a variety of family services and support programs, we also provide support for early educators. Through our professional development department, we provide training and support to licensed child care providers. We offer on-site technical assistance for early childhood programs to enhance the quality of care in their facilities. We are grateful to have worked with many of you over the years, commissioners and staff. Ms. Cannon and Dr. Council can tell you all about the days when we first started the organization. And as I mentioned earlier, we were one of the pilot programs for the Smart Start initiative, and we continue to look for opportunities to be a leader in early childhood with programs that match our organization's board-set priorities. I'm proud to stand here today and tell you that our organization has been selected to pilot a universal home visiting program serving families with newborns in Cumberland, Hoke, and Robeson counties. This program is made possible by the Preschool Development Grant Birth Through 5 Fund. This is federal funding coming here to Cumberland County. North Carolina was one of 20 states and territories awarded a 3-year renewal grant. The U.S. Department of Health and Human Services awarded more than $40 million to the North Carolina DHHS. 2 other organizations were selected to lead this program in 5 other counties in the western part of North Carolina. This pilot program is in partnership with the North Carolina Partnership for Children and Family Connects International. Family Connects International is a Durham-born program and is the home visiting model that we will be following. So what does that mean for families in Cumberland County, Hoke County, and Robeson County? It means that later this year, trained registered nurses will visit families who have requested a home visit. The registered nurses will medically assess the newborns, address postpartum health concerns, respond to immediate needs for support and guidance such as breastfeeding and home safety, link families to community services, and help new parents learn to better connect with their infants. This program provides between 1 and 3 home visits beginning at about 3 weeks of age, regardless of income or demographic risk. Research demonstrates that this model makes families stronger, enhances the lives of children, and saves money. An ongoing randomized control trial from Family Connects began in 2009. Some of the results have shown that mothers reported significantly more positive parenting behavior, like hugging, comforting, or reading to their infants. They also expressed increased response to and acceptance of their infants. Home environments were improved, meaning homes were safer and had more learning materials to support infant development. Emergency room visits and hospital overnight stays were reduced by 50% in a child's first year of life. Mothers were 30% less likely to experience postpartum depression or anxiety, and investigations for suspected child abuse or neglect decreased by 44%. I mentioned savings. The research also shows that for every $1 spent on this program, $3 is saved in healthcare costs. This is through reduced visits to the ER or emergency visit to primary care providers. We have contracted with 4C, Carolina Collaborative Community Care, as our nursing partner. The decision to bring this program to our community demonstrates our board and staff's commitment to advancing the well-being of children and empowering families, and to play our part in the community child abuse prevention plan. I've emailed you all a link to a CBS News report on the Family Connects program. I hope when you have 6 minutes that you'll watch it. While we are still working out many of the details with the North Carolina Partnership for Children and the Family Connects International program, we know that this program will positively impact families in our community. It will change the lives of children, so we can hopefully one day see our vision of an economically prosperous community where families are successful and children thrive. Thank you very much. Any questions?
Are there any questions or comments for Ms. Moyer? If not, thank you so much for your presentation.
Thank you so much.
Madam Manager.
Yes, sir. Item 2B is an update from Chairman Charles Evans on the board's accomplishments.
Good evening. Cumberland County Board of Commissioners first quarter 2021 accomplishments. It's hard to believe, but we have already completed 1 quarter of the year. And I want to assure the citizens of Cumberland County that your Board of Commissioners and county staff have been working hard to fulfill our mission of providing quality services while being fiscally responsible. This evening, I want to update our citizens on what your board and county government have accomplished in the first quarter of 2021. In January, the board approved hiring a consultant to develop a 3-year homelessness strategic plan. A community survey just wrapped up on Friday, April 16th, and additional research is being conducted. We expect to have a proposed plan by June 30th. The county and the state have implemented a watershed restoration project for needed repairs to streams and drainage ways resulting from hurricanes and subsequent flooding. Approximately $855,000 has been awarded from the North Carolina Department of Agriculture and Consumer Services for the 37 projects in the plan. In February, the board approved 7 top priorities during a planning session: a performing arts center, access to public water in Grays Creek, countywide public water, homelessness, government communications, economic development, and a county facility asset inventory and audit. From there, we develop objectives and action steps for each priority. That plan is included in tonight's consent agenda. The county has launched 2 anti-litter campaigns. The 5 for Friday anti-litter campaign encourages citizens to pick up 5 pieces of litter each Friday around their roadways, businesses, and along any walking trails or other public areas. Cumberland Clean, the county's first litter pickup event, was held on Saturday, April 17th. Volunteers picked up litter at several locations in the county outside the city of Fayetteville, which was holding Fayetteville Beautiful at the same time. We launched our own county government TV channel, CCNC TV, in February. And to increase transparency and greater public access to meetings, the board approved installing cameras in our conference room, and we now broadcast our agenda session meetings on CCNC TV, our website, and YouTube. Renovations started in March on the Emergency Services Center at 700 Executive Place. Our board, staff, and representatives from the Volunteer Fire Chiefs Association gathered to celebrate the construction kickoff. The board approved 2 economic development incentive grant packages, including one to Cargill, which will invest $25 million and retain 70 jobs at their facility in Cumberland County. Our public health and emergency services departments opened the drive-through vaccination clinics at the Crown Complex in January. They have done an outstanding job in getting vaccines in the arms of our more than 41,000 individuals. Governor Roy Cooper and Health and Human Services Secretary Dr. Mandy Cohen visited the clinic in March and praised our vaccination efforts. These numbers do not include those vaccinated at Cape Fear Valley, the VA, on post at Fort Bragg, or through other providers. That's a quick look back at the first quarter. As we move forward, we will be working with management, staff, and our federal consultants to develop a strategy for the funding allocated to Cumberland County as a part of the Federal American Rescue Plan that will provide historic and unprecedented aid to all counties, cities, and towns across the country. I want to thank the board, county management, and our employees for all you do to serve our citizens. Together, we can and will create a stronger Cumberland County. Thank you. And I think that deserves a round of applause. Madam Manager.
Yes, sir. Item number 3 is your consent agenda.
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. Madam Manager?
Yes, sir. Item number,
We need to vote. Aye. Aye.
Oh, I'm sorry. Please forgive me.
Aye.
Please.
Aye.
Commissioner Adams. Commissioner Booth.
Yes.
Commissioner Council.
aye.
Commissioner Stewart, please.
Aye.
Thank you, that is unanimous.
Thank you.
Item 4 are our public hearings. We have one uncontested rezoning case, case P2117.
Good afternoon.
So the first item that I have for you is an uncontested rezoning case. Let me pull up the presentation here. You can see it's in the Hope Mills area out off Cumberland Road, just south of Fayetteville. You can see as it's indicated on the star above. So just going through a very quick presentation. I'm just going to use the clicker here. So for those of you that may know, this is Cumberland Road, and then it sits at the corner of Boone Trail. So for those of you that know, Boone Trail is a major cut through for this area of the county, but it's that little sliver of the corner piece that you see there that is owned by Brian V. Barber on behalf of Be All You Can Be Real Estate. Currently, it's a split zone piece of property. It is CP, planned commercial, and C2P, planned services and retail. The sole reason for the request was to consolidate the zoning into one zoning category so they can further be able to develop it for future commercial activity. It complied with the plan. Staff has recommended it. When it went to the planning board, it passed with a full vote. So I'll be happy to open up the presentation if you see fit, but that's pretty much the summation of it.
Okay, any questions or comments? And there's no speakers? So at this time, we close the public hearing.
Gotta open it.
And, open the public hearing before we even close it, I'm sorry. We opened the public hearing, closed the public hearing, and I move that this public hearing for case P2117 is,
Mr. Chair, I make a motion.
Mr. Chairman, remember that because this is a remote meeting, you'll need to recess this public hearing because for the 24-hour.
yes, sir, that's
Comment
what I
period.
was in the process of doing. Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. And I move that the public hearing for case of P2117 is recessed to May 3rd, 2021 meeting of the Board of Commissioners for final action. Any citizens or residents of the county may submit written public comments on this matter to the clerk, to the board, by close of business April 26, 2021, and these shall be provided to the board before its meeting on May 3rd, 2021. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Chairman Evans, your vote, please.
Aye.
Commissioner Adams. Yes. Commissioner Booth.
Yes.
Commissioner Council.
Yes.
Commissioner Stewart.
Yes.
That is unanimous. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, sir.
All right, so the next item I have on the agenda, Commissioners, is a street renaming. I know it's been a while since we've had any of these, but with the implementation with the next-gen 911 system, that in conjunction with a number of state DOT projects that have been going on around the county, it has generated the need for us to be able to go through this exercise to rename, because you've had some streets that have been cut off, you've had some, just some changes in the street network. So the first one that we have on the agenda, so both this one and the one that's coming up following are all going to be initiated by the county. These are not citizen initiated. So this one is heading out on Sand Hill Road. Just to give you a little bit of idea. As I stated before, this is as a result of a DOT project that had occurred that just realigned the part of the road, and then when it was put through the next-gen E911 system, it kicked it back to us saying that we had to rename the road. So we have a standard protocol that we go through in the department when we go through this type of renaming. Essentially, we follow the same process as if it's going to be a citizen-initiated process. So essentially what happens is we identify all the owners of the parcels out there. We mail them to the tax record or the owners of the record. We produce, at a minimum, we'll produce about 3 names that are in our database that have been cleared. We give the opportunity for these citizens to vote on the ones that they think it should be. The highest vote getter essentially is the name that we move forward to the hearing here tonight. So we did this for this particular case and the one that's following after this. So in this particular case, there were 12 property owners that were contacted, and Rainforest Road received the majority of the votes of the comments that we received back. So to give you just an overview of where this is Chickenfoot Road here. I'm gonna see if I can pull my little arrow up if you can see on the screen. This is Chickenfoot. For those of you that may or may not know where this is, I-95 interchange is just about a mile up the road here. So Sand Hill Road at one point came and cut through here, as you can see here. The DOT, as part of one of their realignment projects, came through and then realigned Sand Hill Road to come up here to tee out to Braxton Road here, thus leaving this road here with the need to be renamed. So we went through the process. Rainforest Road came out with the most votes. By county ordinance, we have to post the site, which we did. So I wanted to put this picture up so you can see exactly what we did with the proposed name and the current name and so forth. You can see this is sitting on the corner of Chickenfoot and Sand Hill with the sign out. This is sitting where the split came off of Sand Hill Road. So are there any questions? It's pretty straightforward at this point.
Okay. Are there any questions, comments? If not, open the public hearing. Close the no, I don't.
There are no speakers.
There are no speakers. Thank you. With being no speakers, then I close the public. I don't do that yet.
It's a remote meeting, I guess you got to do the same thing.
Another recess.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Say recess, sir?
Yes, sir.
To May
Okay.
3rd.
I move that this public hearing for case SN 0475 is recessed to May 3rd, 2021, meeting of the Board of Commissioners for final action. Any citizens or residents of the county may submit written public comments on this matter to the clerk to the board by close of business April 26, 2021, and these shall be provided to the board before its meeting on May 3rd, 2021.
Second.
Second. Mr. Chair, can we
Yes.
put these two together? The attorney says it's okay to put them, both of them together, if that works.
That'd be fine, yes.
You go ahead and hear and add it to that public hearing, yes, sir.
Excuse me?
You can just add the second one to this public hearing you just done, just make your motion that way.
Okay. So the motion had been made, so we remake the motion. Okay?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yes, sir, but you still would have.
Okay, for the street naming cases of SN 0475 and also SN 0477, the motion has been made and restated. I move that this public hearing for those cases is recessed on May 3rd, 2021, meeting of the Board of Commissioners for final action. Any citizens or residents of the county may submit written public comments on this matter to the clerk of the board by close of business April 26, 2021, and these shall be provided to the board before its meeting on May 3rd, 2021. Is there a second?
But I got, you can second, but I got.
I'll second.
Mr. Chairman, and I don't have, I'll go along with the motion, but how would people know if you don't present the second one at least? So that they know what it is that they are gonna comment on May 3rd. He did the first one, but he didn't do the second one.
At your disposal, Commissioner.
I mean, how would people know what to send in? I mean, they're watching on TV.
Mr. Chair, I apologize for trying to put some brevity in here, but I think Commissioner Adams is correct. We didn't go to the second one, but they are very similar. I apologize for that.
It may be a different, I mean, you know.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Well,
you wanna
thank
give-
you both very much.
But I
Okay?
think the motion can stay alive once we
Yes.
finish
Yes.
it. So.
But we'll make the presentation as well, sir.
Appreciating the sense of brevity, I will try to keep it brief. Thank you very much.
Okay.
So this next case is also the result of a DOT project that resulted in some realignment. And again, the Next Gen E911 kicked that back out to us and said that we had to rename it. So we did contact, so this is 2 streets that we're renaming as a part of this process. So we contacted, 9 property owners were contacted, and Carville Road was received for the majority of the portion of the road that was along Camden, which you'll see in the map subsequently here in just a second. And then 3 proper owners were contacted, and Bell Avenue was received for the majority votes of the newly realigned Oakland Avenue. So just to give you a little bit of idea of where this is Camden Road. This is heading out towards, if you keep on going down Camden this way, the next major road you'll probably run to is Elk. So if you guys are familiar with that area, that's essentially where this is. So at some point, Camden Road came through this area here that you can see. It split off through here and then came in and then came down and then flowed in this fashion here. Camden Road was realigned, and so you can see the current alignment of Camden Road here, which then left this right here and this street here that needed to be renamed simply for the fact that there's a railroad crossing here. So that, put a geographical sort of obstacle in there that required us to go through this renaming process. So the portion of Camden Road that is looking to be renamed, as I said before, is going to Carville. As you can see, that's outlined in blue there. And then this portion of Oakland Avenue that's really small, this is going to Bell, or proposed to be Bell. Again, here are the signs that we post. You can see the text and information below. So we did adequately notify the public of what was going on with postings. You can see that this sits at the intersections of Oakland and Camden. You can see the second sign that we had there. So we did post signs out there. So if there are any questions, I'll be happy to try to answer what I can.
Okay, board, is there any questions? Mr. Attorney, we have made the motion. The motion still stands, correct, sir?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so now we take the vote.
Yes, sir.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Chairman Evans?
Aye.
Commissioner Adams?
Yes.
Commissioner Booth?
Yes.
Commissioner Council?
Aye.
Commissioner Stewart?
Yes.
Thank you, that is unanimous.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Thank you, sir. Madam Manager.
Yes, sir. Item 4D is a public hearing on the 2021 Draft Community Development Annual Action Plan. We have Ms. Dee Taylor, our Community Development Director. Welcome, Ms. Taylor.
Hello, Ms. Taylor.
Thank you. Good evening. What you have before you is the draft program year 2021 annual action plan. I've also included a few slides of, that will summarize the annual action plan as far as the funding allocations and how we plan to use those funding allocations. Okay. So the county receives entitlement funding every year from the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development. This includes the Community Development Block Grant, or CDBG funds, and the Home Investment Partnerships Program, or HOME funds. In order for us to fund activities using the CDBG funds, they do have to meet one of the 3 national objectives, and that is they have to benefit low to moderate income persons, or eliminate slum and blighted areas, or meet an urgent need such as a presidentially declared disaster or crisis. Now keep in mind, at least 70% of our CDBG funds that we expend have to benefit low to moderate income persons. The home funds basically addresses housing-related activities, and we do this through partnerships with public and private entities. In order to maintain our entitlement status, the county is required to submit certain documents to HUD, which include cooperative agreements every 3 years. These cooperative agreements are with our 8 municipalities that you see here. That would allow us to use our CDBG and home funds in those areas and include the unincorporated areas. If a municipality was not within our geographic service area, they would have to apply for these funds through the state level, which is usually more competitive. Another mandate by HUD is that the county also submits other documents such as our consolidated plan, which is a 5-year strategic plan that we develop and that outlines the needs. the goals and objectives to address those needs, and it covers a 5-year period. We just recently submitted one last year, which covers the period from July 1, 2020 through June 30th of 2025. And then prior to our program year, we prepare an annual action plan, which again describes our funding allocations and how we plan to use the funding allocations. And at the end of the program year, we prepare a consolidated annual and performance evaluation report, or CAPER, which basically describes our accomplishments for that year. During the consolidated planning process and a needs assessment, the county identified the following priority needs. We plan to use our funds to expand affordable housing in our community, address homelessness, expand opportunity and services for persons with special needs, including those with a disability, expand public services, infrastructure, and community facilities, as well as address economic development activities. So for the upcoming program year 2021, we expect to receive $890,600 for CDBG funds, $396,328 of home funds. The county will contribute $314,544 towards administration, planning, and to meet the required match for home funds. And then the city and the county contributes $200,000 for homeless initiative funds, and that is where we actually use the funds to pay for the homeless management information system, as well as the data and evaluation analyst position and other services, homeless services. So the project goals that we plan to address for the upcoming year is we plan to use CDBG and home funds for home ownership activities, which will include providing assistance for down payment, closing costs, and gap financing for potential home buyers. We plan to work with developers, again, to use home funds for constructing new units, single-family or multifamily housing. We plan to use CDBG and home funds for housing rehabilitation programs. That's for both owners and renters. We also will include housing rehabilitation assistance for those, again, with special needs, especially those with a physical disability. We want to also include CDBG funds to provide housing counseling, especially for those potential home buyers and those renters. CDBG funds will also be used for clearance and demolition to include slum and blighted areas. We also plan to use CDBG funds to, again, address public services. There is a cap on how much we can use towards public service. We cannot exceed 15% of our total allocation. So we will use that for homeless services and other general human services program. We will also, again, expand infrastructure that can include water, sewer, our sidewalks. As far as community facilities, we can use funds for things like community centers, also transitional housing or emergency shelters. And then we plan to use approximately $125 for economic development activities that would basically provide assistance to businesses that would in turn create or retain jobs. CDBG funds in the amount of $178,120, which does not exceed our 20% cap, and home funds, which does not exceed our 10% cap of our allocation, will be used for administrative and planning, as well as general funds. The annual action plan was distributed to all 8 town halls, as well as made available at our community development office and online at the community development webpage. It was available for public review and comment from March 22nd and will end tomorrow, April 20th. After the public hearing tonight, we will bring the final version of the annual action plan before the board on May 3rd for final approval and submission to HUD by the May 15th deadline. And at this time, I will answer any questions that you may have. Yes,
Are
sir.
there any? Yes, ma'am. Are there any questions or comments from the board?
Mr. Chair?
Yes, sir.
So
Commissioner
are you
Booth.
asking, you said at the conclusion of this public hearing, so you're saying tomorrow, or do we need to have one between, on like our May 3rd meeting? Are you
So
asking
we're-
us to have a public hearing?
Yes, sir.
Or
Tonight,
are
I'm
we supposed to have
asking-
said something by tonight?
I'm asking you to hold a public hearing tonight, but our comment, we usually have to hold a public hearing during the comment period, but our actual comment period will end tomorrow in order for us to include those comments and responses in our final submission.
Okay, it's got to go to us May 3rd. Okay, I'd ask this also be continued to May 3rd, because if they
Recessed.
come to her tomorrow, we're not ever going to see him again. I'd like to recess this until our May 3rd regular meeting.
Okay, we have any?
And that also would allow the public to submit written comments to the clerk of the board as
Like
shown on our
the
website. Yes, sir.
Okay, well, first of all, let's open the public hearing. Madam Clerk, are there any speakers?
There are no speakers and no written comments have been received today.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Close the public hearing. Entertain the motion by Commissioner Booth.
I would move that we recess this until our May 3rd, 2021 meeting, along with the same language that was done in SN 475 and SN 0477.
Is there a second to this motion?
Second.
Commissioner Council, thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Chairman Adams, Commissioner Adams?
Yes.
Yes.
Mr. Booth?
Yes.
Commissioner Council? Commissioner Stewart?
Yes.
May I confirm the second to that motion, please?
Yes, Commissioner.
Thank you.
Yes.
That is unanimous.
Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Thank you, Board.
Mr. Chairman, we'll move to item number 5, items of business. Item 5B is consideration of the amendment of Section 605 holidays of the Cumberland County Personnel Ordinance. Mr. Moorfield.
Mr. Chairman, do you want me to go to the podium or just address you? Can everyone hear me here?
Let's go to the podium, sir, if you don't mind. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, as you may recall, on its February 15th meeting, the board adopted a resolution to add a floating holiday to the current county holiday schedule. That was considered at the agenda session, and the language that was recommended by a majority vote at the agenda session is attached in the attachment, which would be a proposed amendment to the County Personnel Ordinance, Section 605. It simply adds that additional floating holiday to all eligible employees to be taken during the course of a calendar year, and establishes that the county manager shall develop and implement holiday pay administration procedures consistent with applicable federal and state law. And this is an item of business because it was not voted unanimously at the agenda session.
Thank you, Attorney Marfield. Are there any questions or discussions regarding this item?
I'd like to make a comment.
Commissioner Keith.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. In politics, sometimes the laws of unintended consequences loom very large. When I brought this forward for consideration, my hope was that we as a county would embrace this action with the intent that it was presented, to make our county one of the most inclusive and respectful governments for all of our staff, regardless of their race, sex, religious affiliation, or restrict their choices to celebrate their religious or cultural holidays. I do not fault the committee that brought forth the two options. One represented the diversity, equality, and inclusiveness. The other choice was to simply recommend another paid holiday. The justification was, this is what people were used to. But isn't that the purpose of why we created the Diversity, Equality, and Inclusive Committee? To educate our staff and our community on our religious and cultural differences, to do the things that we are not entrenched in doing, that we are not comfortable with doing, and is not the way that they have always been. I believe the executive committee missed the mark. By starting this in June, instead of the calendar year, we have completely passed the opportunity to let people celebrate Ramadan or Orthodox Easter or many of the other holidays that are in the first month. Again, not inclusive, not equal, not diverse. I am saddened that the executive committee missed the opportunity to recommend that our county become the most diverse, equal, and inclusive county in the country. Instead, we are getting ready to approve an addition of a simple paid holiday to all of our staff that will have very little impact on the community and completely dilute the intention of this program. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Commissioner Keefe. Are there any more comments or questions? Is there a motion? Comment?
I'm just going to the motion.
Okay, Commissioner Adams.
I move that the amendment be approved to make the ordinance consistent with the board's action and payroll policy.
Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Council. All in favor?
Nay. I got to go first.
You know your name coming, right?
I know. I'm just trying to help out the clerk.
I think she had yours.
Yes.
Commissioner Adams?
Yes.
Commissioner Booth?
No.
Commissioner Council?
Yes.
And Commissioner Stewart?
Yes.
Since it wasn't a unanimous vote, this will come back to us on May 3rd.
Yes, sir, for a second reading, yes, sir.
Thank you so much, Attorney Moorfield.
It
Thank
does
you.
what now? Oh,
An ordinance that doesn't require a public hearing has to be unanimous vote for adoption on the first hearing. Okay.
okay.
See,
Item-
here Jimmy's name.
Madam Manager.
Item 5C is consideration of establishing commissioner work group to develop plan for use of ARP funds. Mr. Moorfield.
Chairman Evans asked me to prepare this and present it, and Chairman Evans has requested Vice Chairman Adams, Commissioners Keefe and Stewart to serve as a work group to assist in developing a plan for the county's use of the American Rescue Plan program funds, which is estimated approximately $65 million because it is such a big impact. The board's adopted rules of procedure really do not vest the authority in the chairman to establish such a group, so he is asking that this requires action to be taken by the board for really anything. So for this reason, Chairman Evans has requested that the board take action to establish the American Rescue Program Work Group consisting of the commissioners, as indicated, Vice Chairman Adams, Commissioners Keefe and Stewart, for the purposes of developing a plan to maximize the uses of the American Rescue Plan funding and advising the full board on the plan, with the work group to serve as a committee of the board and the capacity of a public body.
Thank you, sir. Are there any questions or concerns? Yes, Commissioner Booth.
Mr. Chairman, I think that's in three wonderful hands, your selection of the committee, and I'd move to approve that.
Is there a second? Commissioner Council.
Oh, she did it. Since I was on it, I wasn't going to do it, but.
All in favor?
Commissioner Keefe?
Aye.
Chairman Evans?
Aye.
Commissioner Adams?
Yes.
Commissioner Booth?
Yes.
Commissioner Council?
Yes.
Commissioner Stewart?
Yes.
That is unanimous. Thank you.
Thank you, Board.
Item 4D is consideration of Third Amendment to the Economic Development Incentives Agreement with Campbell Soup Supply Company, LLC. Mr. Moorfield.
Yes, board members, the internal auditor brought to my attention a short while ago a little discrepancy between the what Campbell Soup Supply Company reported for this first reporting to get a incentive payment for last year and the agreement. So she looks at them very closely. The number of management jobs out of the total jobs created was to have been 18. It is only 13. Looked at the numbers, it does not affect, by reducing it to 13, it does not affect the eligibility of the for it to be continue as an incentive under the statute, because this was done pursuant to the transfer of some land. So it's my recommendation that this amendment, which does just reduce the number of management jobs from 18 to 13 at this time, be approved in order to keep this incentive agreement intact.
Are there any questions or comments from the board? If not, do I hear a motion? Can I get a motion?
I move approval of the Third Amendment and authorization for the county manager to sign it.
Second.
It's been properly moved in second. All in favor?
Commissioner Keith?
Aye.
Chairman Evans?
Aye.
Commissioner Adams?
Yes.
Commissioner Booth?
Yes.
Commissioner Council?
Yes.
Commissioner Stewart?
Yes.
Thank you, that is unanimous.
Fantastic. Madam, thank you, sir.
And that's all the items I have. Yes, sir.
Thank you, Attorney Morefield.
That brings us-
Madam Manager.
That brings us to one nomination this evening, 6A, Southeastern Economic Development Commission, one vacancy.
Okay, are there any nominations? Yes, Commissioner Council.
Yes, I'd like to nominate Robert Van Giens, please.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Any other nominations?
Reappoint him, I mean.
Okay,
Yeah.
yes, ma'am. Thank you. Nomination of, you know who he is, Robert Van Giens, I'm sorry. No more nominations, nomination because of said name. Are there any appointments, Mr. Vice Chairman Adams?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, make a motion to appoint nominee Megan Honaker to the Aging Service Provider category.
Second.
Are there, there's a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Chairman Evans?
Aye.
Commissioner Adams?
Yes.
Commissioner Booth?
Yes.
Commissioner Council?
Yes.
And Commissioner Stewart?
Yes.
That is unanimous, thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Madam Manager.
Yes, sir. At this time, we would ask the board to recess the Board of Commissioners meeting and convene the Norcrest Water and Sewer District Governing Board meeting.
Thank you, Madam Manager. At this time, we recess the Board of Commissioners meeting and convene the Norcrest Water and Sewer District Governing Board meeting.
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman, we have one item. It is the use and occupancy agreement with the North Carolina Department of Transportation for the Norcrest system. This item was presented and discussed at your April 8th agenda session, and it's also approved earlier at this meeting under the consent agenda, but needs to be approved as you're convened as the Norcrest Water and Sewer District Governing Board.
Thank you, Madam Manager. Are there any questions or comments? If not, can I get a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I would authorize the chairman to sign the use and occupancy agreement with the North Carolina Department of Transportation to facilitate the relocation of the Norcross-owned sewer lines located within the North Carolina Department of Transportation right-of-way.
Thank you, Mr. Vice Chair. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Chairman Evans?
Aye.
Commissioner Adams?
Yes.
Commissioner Booth?
Yes.
Commissioner Council?
Yes.
Commissioner Stewart?
Yes.
That is unanimous, thank you.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. I'd like to adjourn the Norcrest Water and Sewer District Governing Board meeting and reconvene the Board of Commissioners meeting. Madam Manager.
Yes, sir. That brings us to item number 9, a closed session for an economic development matter under General Statute 143, 318, 11A4.
That's my motion.
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's good. Second.
It was a motion made by Dr. Council and a second by Commissioner Booth. All in favor?
Commissioner Keith?
Aye.
Chairman Evans?
Aye.
Commissioner Adams?
Yes.
Commissioner Booth?
Yes.
Commissioner Council?
Yes.
Commissioner Stewart?
Yes.
That is unanimous, thank you.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. We're now in closed session.
Make a motion to go back into open session.
Is
Second.
there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Commissioner Keith?
Aye.
Chairman Evans?
Aye.
Commissioner Adams?
Yes.
Commissioner Booth?
Yes.
Commissioner Council?
No. Just jive.
Is there a motion to adjourn?
Wait,
Oh, I'm
Commissioner
sorry.
Stewart.
Commissioner Stewart.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, she may be off.
Commissioners.
Commissioner Stewart, are you still connected?
Motion to adjourn.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Commissioner Keith?
Aye.
Chairman
Aye.
Evans? Commissioner Adams?
Yes.
Commissioner Booth?
Yes.
Commissioner Council?
Yes.
Thank you.
We're adjourned.